Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are going to make some baby Balm. So baby Balm is a blend of olive oil and beeswax with a bit of infused chamomile, and you could also use some infused calendula if you wanted. And then we're adding zinc oxide. And so zinc oxide is a naturally occurring mineral that has both astringent and soothing qualities. And because it is insoluble, it forms a barrier. So when we blend it with some olive oil and some beeswax to make it smooth and spreadable, you can blend and spread a really thin layer of it across the skin, creating a barrier against moisture and helping to soothe irritated skin. So it goes without saying that this stuff is awesome for babies, but you know what else it's awesome for? Your face when you have a cold. You know when you've been blowing your nose a lot and your nose is just like, please no, anything but another tissue. This stuff is great. Just slather on like a lot of it right before you go to bed and you will definitely have a great big white spot in the middle of your nose, but you will wake up and your skin will feel so much better. This stuff is also pretty darn good for things like sunburn, bug bites, any kind of skin irritation. It's great. So come on, let's get started. We'll start our baby Balm by adding 10 grams of wax to a heat-resistant glass measuring cup. And this is beeswax, and you can see it's lovely and unrefined and golden. And then we're going to add 15 grams of chamomile infused olive oil. So to make chamomile infused olive oil, you're just going to pour olive oil over some dried chamomile flowers in a mason jar and leave it to infuse. So here's my jar, and I've had this going for at least a year, and the oil is still perfectly fresh. Just make sure when you're weighing it out that you are pouring your oil through a fine mesh sieve, otherwise you will of course end up with flowers in your final product. Here we have 25 grams of just normal uninfused olive oil. And last but not least, our active ingredient, this is 10 grams of zinc oxide. So give that a stir now and try to break up some of the clumps of the zinc oxide. So now I'm going to pop this little measuring cup here into a small saucepan that's got about 1 inch or 3 centimeters of water in it. And I'm going to go put this on the stovetop over medium heat for about half an hour to melt everything through. So after about half an hour, everything has melted through. So I'm going to remove the measuring cup from our water bath and set that aside and give this a stir. You can see that the beeswax and the olive oil have made it quite yellow looking, but it will whiten up as it cools. So we're looking to stir this for just a little while to get a little bit of viscosity going on so that when we pour it into our container, the zinc oxide doesn't settle out. You also want to just give it a little bit of a streaking motion with your silicone spatula to ensure that there aren't any clumps of zinc oxide in here. So we are intentionally not adding any essential oils because you should not use essential oils on babies, especially not right around their private bits. So I've got a little 2-ounce tin here, holds about 60 grams of water. And so this is now about the consistency of coffee cream, like a 10% milk fat cream. Just going to keep stirring this for a little while longer before pouring it. We're now nearing the consistency of sort of a heavy cream, like an unwhipped whipping cream. And that's about what we are looking for. So I'm going to pour this into our container now. Make sure you're using your spatula to keep stirring and scraping so that you don't end up with a big bunch of zinc oxide left at the bottom. All right, so I'm going to stop there. I'm not scraping this completely empty because there's just some extra zinc oxide in here and I don't want to create a really zinc oxide heavy patch in the salve. So I'm going to let that set up. So it's been about 20 minutes and our baby Bum Balm has set up. So all that's left to do is cap it and we're done. You can take a little bit of the excess here and test it on your skin to sort of get a feel for it. You can see it's really soft and creamy, and a really small amount will give a great coating to a pretty wide area of skin. My testers have said that they absolutely love this stuff for their babies because they can use so little of it, and a little just goes a very long way. So there you go. You just made some baby Bum Balm. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe and check the description box below for the full written recipe with links in both imperial and metric measurements. See you next time.